What's up guys, and welcome to the channel. Today we're gonna talk about the VAXEE Zygen NP-01S. I've only had the mouse for about a day, and I've only played about 2 hours with it, so this is not the full review. But I know this mouse is going on sale about the same time that I'm gonna upload this video, and I wanted to give you guys my opinion on the shape and the design of the mouse. So hopefully this video can help you with your buying decision. I'll quickly cover some technical details. So basically the feet on the Zygen NP-01S are the exact same as on the Outset AX and the NP-01. The feet are 0.6mm thick and they do perform very well. The configuration options for the mouse are the same as before, so the bottom of the mouse has the DPI button, the polling rate button, and then the click response time button. And the sensor is still the 3389 from PixArt. The main button switches use the same Huano switches as previously, and the button design is pretty much the same as on the Outset AX. The buttons are separated from the shell and they are easy to actuate and they feel tactile. The click feeling is something in between of the Outset AX and the NP-01, but I do still prefer the Outset AX clicks over this one. But these clicks are still top tier and they sound incredibly nice. The left and the right click also feel pretty much exactly the same. And they kind of sound the same also. The side buttons are very tactile and crispy. There is some post travel on my back button, but pretty much none whatsoever. Some pre-travel. These are good side buttons. I would say these are very good in game and in general use. But I will talk more about these in the full review. The scroll wheel is the exact same as on the Outset AX. I would prefer a little bit lighter scroll wheel, but this is what I got. The cable is the exact same as previously. It's really not the most flexible cable on the market, but I can easily set it up so that I do not really feel it that much in game. And it definitely does not ruin my in-game performance whatsoever. Because the cable does keep its shape, it's very easy for me to set it up in a way so that it does not touch my mouse pad and cause any kind of drag or friction. Okay, so the technical details and the features are pretty much exactly the same. So let's talk about the shape and I'll give you my opinion on how it feels in hand compared to the NP-01, the FK2 and even the Outset AX, although it's very different to that one. Well, surprise, surprise, the easiest way to describe the Zygen NP-01S is calling it the small NP-01. The length for these two is pretty much exactly the same, but the hump and the back side of the mouse is where you will feel the difference. The NP-01 is way more bulkier in the back, and it fills your palm much more than the NP-01S does. When I'm gripping the NP-01, the back part of my palm is pretty much completely touching the mouse, and it covers quite a lot of my palm as well. But when I'm gripping the NP-01S, only the bottom part of my palm is touching the mouse, and there is going to be a lot of slack between my palm and the mouse. My main issue with the NP-01 was exactly this. It was basically covering too much of my palm, and I felt not mobile enough, and then again at the same time I felt that it's not high profile enough for me to be comfortable with it. I've mentioned in many of my videos that I do like these low profile mice, but at the same time I do like mice like the Outset AX that is quite high profile. So all in all, the NP-01S will feel a lot smaller to you guys than the NP-01. The NP-01S does feel a little bit thinner as well, which for me is definitely a good thing. So again, if the back hump of the NP-01S was the main issue, or the right side of the back hump felt uncomfortable, the NP-01S might be your choice. With my 19cm x 10cm hands and claw grip, there is a lot less contact with this right curve of the mouse and my hand, and I do think that this adds more mobility to my game, and it just feels more comfortable. Another thing is that the NP-01 had a lot of room in the front right corner of the mouse, and the NP-01S has a little bit less room, and I do think that this is good for me, as it's more easy for me to find a consistent place for these two fingers of mine when I grip the mouse, like this. So relaxed claw definitely feels comfortable, but a more aggressive claw also feels good for me. If you look at the FK2 and the NP-01S, the main kind of similarity here is that they're in the same size category, but the hand feeling is again quite different. The main difference is of course the right side of the NP-01S, as there is that ergonomic curve here, and it will feel of course a lot different than the FK2, that's completely ambidextrous. The hump is also a little bit more pronounced on the NP-01S compared to the FK2, as it is more towards the back of the mouse. And you can definitely feel this while gripping the mouse. The difference is that when I grip the NP-01S, there is more room between the bottom of the mouse and my palm, and the mouse is also a little bit more forward when I grip it compared to the FK2. There is quite a lot of contact with the bottom of my palm and the bottom of the mouse, and the mouse is also much more towards my wrist than the NP-01S is. As somebody who's a massive fan of the FK2, the Ducky Feather and the Extra Fine M42, this mouse goes straight into that category. But I've only used this mouse for today, so about 8 hours and only about 40 minutes of gameplay, so I really can't give my full impressions in this video. I should not even do this, but if I compare the Outset AX to the NP-01S, the feeling is of course completely different. There is pretty much nothing alike in these two mice. The rounded front right corner is pretty much the only similar thing in these two. Okay, so these were my initial feelings about the shape. My full review will be out in about 2 weeks, but I can already tell that this shape is going to be very good for me. But if you have tried the FK2, the Extra Fine M42, or the Ducky Feather, but you want something that has a little bit more pronounced hump, this one is the way to go. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button. If you enjoy my content, hit that subscribe button, and see you in the next one.